Hi guys. In this video, I will show you how to convert, or edit an ordinary photo, into a more dramatic photo, using Photoshop. Photoshop is a very versatile photo editing tool, and you can achieve dramatic effects using it. I took this photo of women doing laundry, and children playing in the river, in one of the rural areas in the Philippines about 30 kilometers from my hometown. Let us try converting this photo to a more dramatic, painting-like type. My general flow for this kind of work are as follows. Number 1. Separating the subjects from the backgrounds, foreground using the pen selection tool. Number 2. Adding haze. Number 3. Darkening the background. Number 4. Adding sunlight effects. Number 5. Adjusting color tones. Number 6. Sharpening. First, let us select the boy in red shirt. Using the pen tool, start selecting the outlines of this boy from the head portion. If you do not know how to use the pen tool, please try watching first some tutorial videos on YouTube. There are many videos related to the use of pen tools on YouTube. Once selection is completed, right-click the mouse, and select Make Selection in the pop-up menu. Set the feather radius to value of 1, this is to ensure some transition pixels from the selection in the background. Convert first the background picture into editable layer by double-clicking it. This layer will become layer 0. Press Ctrl+J. to copy the selection to a separate layer. Let us name this layer Red Boy. Next, let us select the woman in green using the same method as before. Start selecting the outline of this woman from the head portion. Let us do the selection arbitrarily on the lower portion. We can later delete the unnecessary portion later. But the most important is, you must select the upper body portion accurately, because they will be important in masking later. With layer 0 selected, press Ctrl+J to copy the selection in a separate layer. Let us rename this layer into Woman Green. Let us rename also the previous layer to Boy Red for a uniform naming. Let us further refine the selection of the woman in green. Select the portion in the lower which are not needed and delete. Next, let us do the same to the woman in white. Since this subject is overlapping with the boy in blue, let us also select the boy in blue at the same time. I made some selection mistake on the forehead of the woman in white. So let us just select again the forehead and merge with the previous selection. Well, the dog somewhat overlaps also with these two subjects. So let us select it and merge with the previous layer. Let us rename this layer to woman boy dog. So far we have selected already the 3 layers of subjects as shown here. Let us now select the shirtless boy, using the same method. Let us further refine the selection of this boy by deleting the portions inside the previous selection. Let us also do further refinement of the boy in red. There is a portion between his arms that needs to be removed. There are also several portions in the woman boy dog layer which we need to delete. Select those portions using pen tool and let us delete. This is now our final selection of the subjects, which is composed of 4 layers. Next, let us make also a selection for the splash of water coming from the boy in red. This selection may be necessary later if we want to make this splash pop up from our background. First, let us copy this portion of splash only in separate layer. Using the select color range, let us select the white highlights only. Copy the selected highlights into a new layer using Ctrl+J. Delete other unnecessary portions from this selection. Using adjustment layer level, increase the highlights to further select accurately the white portions. Merge this adjustment layer to the selection layer. Delete other unnecessary portions from this selection. Now that we have separated the subjects from the rest of the picture, let us now add a haze in the background. Let us add a new layer below the subject layers, and fill it with a blue color. Let us try adjusting this layer opacity, say below 50. And let us turn on the layers of our subjects. Let us turn off them again. Let us add a mask on this blue layer, and draw a gradient mask. The blue is a little bit off for this image. Let us change the layer color to yellow. The yellow layer seems to be better. Now let us add a sunlight radial gradient. Create a new layer on top of the yellow haze layer. With the color palette set to white on foreground, and black on background, select Gradient tool, and draw a radial gradient from the upper right going to the lower left. Adjust the layer opacity to about 30%. Now create a new group layer, name it as Effect, and copy the subject selection layers, as well as the haze and sunlight gradient layer into it. We want to darken the background a little bit. Select the layer 0, copy it using Ctrl+J. Change its blending mode to multiply. Add mask layer to this layer, and draw a gradient mask. Now, we also want to create some yellow haze on the subjects so that they will blend well with the overall picture. Copy the yellow haze layer number 3, and move it to the topmost of the group effect. Adjust its opacity to about 20%. We want to create some sunlight ray impression on this image. Select again the original yellow haze layer, add mask, and mask a Sunray Effect about 45 degrees. Let us create the sunlight ray layer. Create a new layer, and draw a shape using pen tool. Draw about 4 rays and color them white. Adjust the layer opacity accordingly. Now, to make this rays appear blurry, go to the filter, select blur, select Gaussian blur, and set blur to about 50 and 30. I saw some masking error on the woman-boy-dog portion. Some portion were not covered by haze, and you can see it as distinct color difference. So let us fix it by masking it off. Let us add a level adjustment layer to darken some portion of the image. Let us also add some saturation of about 10. Let us also add color adjustment layer, and make the color appears somewhat greenish-bluish. Let us further darken the background and foreground. Select again the layer called Darken, create a copy. Select the mask layer, and then mask out the portions which we don't want to look darker, like the leaves of the trees. We want also to darken a little the foreground, so brush it out with a white color brush. For the shirtless kid, let us adjust his skin tone to more reddish color. Add a color adjustment layer, clip it to this layer, then adjust the color to more redder. Do this also to the woman in green. For the boy in blue shirt, we want to make more highlights on his back, especially the portion where the sun is shining. Create a copy of the boy. And using dodge brush, brush the hair, back and the shoulder. You can try adjusting the opacity of the yellow haze and the color balance to achieve your desired color. For this video, I will use the more greener tones for the effects. I want to make the foreground more darker. So let us create a new layer and make a white-black gradient. Set the blending mode to multiply, and adjust its size and position. The purpose is to darken the foreground, to create a vignette-like effect, where the subjects will become brightest and most prominent. Let us create a duplicate of the level layer to enhance further the levels. The adjustments will depend on what output you desire for the pictures. I will set the opacity of this duplicate of the level layer to 50. Well, this is it. For our last adjustment, let us do the sharpening using the lab method. Before that, let us create a merged layer in a separate layer. Press Ctrl, Shift, Alt and E at the same time. Select the merged layer, click the image, then select Mode, and select Lab. Select the channels, and select the lightness layer. Click Filter, Sharpen and then Unsharp Mask. I used values as follows: 40 for the amount, 5 for the radius and 1 for the threshold. Convert again the image to RGB. This is the final output. This is the image before, and the image after the editing. I hope you learned something from this tutorial. Please leave comments or questions, and I will gladly answer them. Please give me likes, leave comments and subscribe to my channel if you find this helpful. That's all and bye bye.